I think the first thing for all of us is to really appreciate this process. You know, I can speak firsthand from being out of it. You can duplicate a lot of things, whether you're announcing games, whether you're watching games, but the thing you can't duplicate is getting a chance to be a part of this process of just starting right now where we are, seeing how each guy can improve, and then how we can start to put this football team together. So we're all very fortunate to be in a position, to be at a place where they really care, and we have a chance to establish something. So enjoy the process. And this is just simply the first step in the process.
10 years later, how did it feel to be out here?
It felt good. You know, it's really just a continuation of what we've been doing, to be honest. But this is the first time we've had footballs with these guys. You know, the NCAA rules, you're allowed to do a lot of things with them, but you're not allowed to have footballs up until today. So, you know, you go out there and it's really the first time you've ever seen the quarterbacks throw a ball, first time you've ever seen the receivers catch a ball, punters punt a ball. So just to get a football out here and start working, you know, it was fun. I mean, you can see the anxiety level is very high, you know, particularly with the quarterbacks, the guys that touch the football. The anxiety level of the coaches is high, and it should be. But, yeah, I mean, it's just fun to be out here and you know, no strong statements coming out of here today. You know, we're just starting.
What are your thoughts after the first practice, just seeing them out there flying around and trying to?
You know what? I think, you know, I just told them I appreciate their effort. It's that simple. You know, I can't really evaluate other than they gave good effort. So much of what we do here is tempo oriented, where we coach so much off of the tape. You know, half of our practice is teaching, and then probably half of our practice is tempo. But the biggest thing, just showing guys what we expect, how we expect them to do it. No one getting their feelings hurt, nobody taking it personal. It's how it's going to be. That won't change. We will not compromise. So it's really just getting to know each other and what the expectations are.
What are your first impressions of the talent out there?
I got no comment. You know, we're not worried right now. Our talent is what our talent is. You know, we're worried on each guy getting better. I told our players today, our plan to win I've never varied on. It's turnovers, it's kicking game, and no self-inflicted mistakes. You know, the first thing is the Lobos don't beat the Lobos. And those three things I just talked about have nothing to do with talent. So we're not really worried about the talent. We're worried about just each guy getting better. That's all.
Where's the discipline on this team? You know, you got coaches out there, you know, kind of yelling at players and getting it kind of going, I guess. Do you think discipline's the number one thing you try to?
Well, there's no question it is. I mean, I think it's been pretty well documented that I gave every player on this team the opportunity to come in and see me individually. And I gave them one time and one time only, because we never talk about the past. What I did doesn't matter, what they did doesn't matter. But we learn from the past. And each one of those players told me the same thing, discipline. And this football team's starving and craving for discipline. And that's what they're going to get. And that's just how we do it. You know, call me old school, call me whatever you want to call me, but discipline's number one. This is a disciplined, tough, physical football game. And you learn discipline and you learn toughness from lining up and running the ball on offense and stopping the run on defense. And running some option and defending some option. So it all starts with those big guys and the physical nature. So that's where we're headed.
Coach, we see little things out there like you telling guys that have their shirts tied behind their backs, guys that aren't wearing.
You mean don't have their shirts tied behind their back?
Right.
No, we do everything the same thing. You know, if we issue white socks, they're all wearing white socks. You know, so you don't do anything to alter your equipment. Everybody looks exactly the same, from the uniforms they wear to the way they act, hopefully, and even in their stance and in their first step and their pad level. You know, there's things we can control, and we're darn sure going to control everything we can control that doesn't have anything to do with our opponent. So again, number one priority, the Lobos don't beat the Lobos. That's where we're starting.
Coach, going from the hiring process to recruiting, getting your staff together, to everything, how good does it feel just to get back on the grass and be working with the kids again? And be,
you know what? That's it. That's it. You know, that's what all of us got in this profession for. And as I said, you know, I've had a lot of fulfilling things. You know, put it this way, I've broadcast a lot of big games over the last 10 years. I've been in some unbelievable settings, and it's been as close to it as I could be possibly close to it. but what you can't duplicate is this. That's what we're all in it for, is to make an impact and to coach. So yeah, I mean, this is as good as I've had it. This is even better right here to be out here. As ugly as it was today, right? As bad as we are right now, this is better than anything I've done the last 10 years. I can tell you that honestly.
Coach, you personally, what kind of things are you doing to just get back into it?
I'm pretty good. You know, my hands, you know, I'm disappointed. I used to be able to catch the ball a little bit better 10 years ago. No, you know, I'm not going to play. So I'm in pretty good shape as far as all the things. You know, I don't think that's really an issue. You know, it's you know, it's all about the players.
Well, I guess there's a poll that had a lot of alumni signatures on it, and I guess it was painted over. I guess just what occurred. You know, we have no
Yeah,
idea.
no, that's a great question. I guess about the year, as far as I can research, about 2004 or 2005, they started a tradition here in the locker room where there's a big poll. And players, after they play their last game, sign their name and some things on that poll, which I think is a heck of a tradition. But what I noticed, really it started in recruiting when we brought parents and young prospects into the locker room. There was a lot of graffiti, a lot of profanity. So over the years, guys have taken what was a great tradition and I think probably abused it. And I didn't think it was appropriate, number one, to have any of those things in our locker room. Graffiti and profanity. I think all our former players that signed that thing and started that tradition would agree with that. So what I did, I painted over that pole. In fact, I'm probably going to put a second layer of paint over that just to get all that clean. And then I'm inviting every former player back here. We're going to have a former players golf tournament here May 17th and 18th. Any player that wants to climb up there and sign it and sign their name and put any appropriate comment on there will be able to re-sign that. But I don't think anyone that's ever been part of this program would want the tradition to stay alive of things that are profanity-laced and graffiti-laced, and they're embarrassed to have people come in that locker room and see. So I'm starting a new tradition, okay? We're going to do it right, and we'll bring all those guys back and let them sign that poll and do it the right way, and we'll have something that means something at the end of the day, okay?